An alcoholic suffers a severe accident and, in the hospital, he reunites with his ex-girlfriend, who is now his doctor. A man drowning in addiction finds redemption in such an unexpected way that it defies everything we know about love and recovery. This isn't just a story of overcoming obstacles. It's a journey that will challenge your beliefs, shake your certainties, and warm your heart. John had been fighting his demons for years. Once a promising young man, his life had spiraled out of control due to alcohol. One fateful night, after a particularly rough day, he made a decision that would alter his path forever. As he drove down the dark, rainy streets, his mind clouded with regret and despair, he lost control of his car. The crash was devastating. Metal twisted and glass shattered, the sound of screeching tires and crumpling steel piercing the night. John was barely conscious when the paramedics arrived, his body broken but his spirit not entirely crushed. He was rushed to the hospital, where the bright lights and frantic voices formed a blur around him. In the emergency room, the doctors and nurses worked swiftly, their movements a dance of precision and urgency. Among them was Lisa, a dedicated and compassionate physician. As she approached the stretcher, ready to do her job, her breath caught in her throat. There, lying battered and bruised, was John, her ex-boyfriend and the man she once loved deeply. Lisa's heart raced as memories flooded back. She remembered the laughter they shared, the dreams they once had, and the pain of watching him descend into alcoholism. She had left to protect herself, but seeing him now, so vulnerable, stirred something within her. Despite the shock, Lisa quickly regained her composure. Her medical training kicked in, and she focused on stabilizing John. Her touch was gentle but firm, her voice calm and reassuring. As she tended to his wounds, she couldn't help but wonder what had led him to this point. The years apart had been long, but in this moment, their past seemed to vanish, replaced by a shared determination to see him through this crisis. As John lay there, drifting in and out of consciousness, he felt a familiar presence. Through the haze of pain and medication, he recognized Lisa. The realization hit him like a bolt of lightning. This accident, terrible as it was, had brought him back to the one person who had ever truly understood him. It was as if fate had intervened, crossing their paths once more in the most unexpected way. The accident was a wake-up call, a harsh reminder of the life he had been wasting. In the depths of his despair, a spark of hope ignited. With Lisa by his side, John felt a glimmer of strength. This was his chance to make things right, to fight for his life, and, perhaps, for their love. John's recovery was slow, but each day brought a little more clarity and strength. He often found himself thinking about Lisa, the woman who had patched him up and stayed by his side through the worst of the pain. He remembered the love they once shared and how his addiction had driven them apart. It felt surreal to have her back in his life, even if only as his doctor. Lisa, too, was grappling with her emotions. Seeing John again had stirred up a whirlwind of memories and unresolved feelings. She had loved him deeply and had been heartbroken when his drinking had taken over his life. Now, seeing him vulnerable and in need of help, she couldn't just walk away. One afternoon, as John was resting in his hospital bed, Lisa came in to check on him. Their eyes met, and for a moment, it felt like no time had passed. The air was thick with unspoken words and lingering questions. Lisa took a deep breath and decided to break the silence. "John, it's been a long time," she said softly, pulling up a chair beside his bed. "How are you feeling today?" John managed a weak smile. "Better, thanks to you. I still can't believe you're here. It feels like a second chance." Lisa nodded, her eyes filled with a mix of empathy and determination. "Maybe it is. We've both been through a lot, but right now, the focus is on getting you well. We'll have time to talk about the past later." Over the next few weeks, Lisa's visits became a routine. They talked about John's treatment and recovery, but slowly, their conversations began to drift into more personal territory. They reminisced about the good times, the dreams they once shared, and the painful moments that had driven them apart. It was as if the walls that had been built up over the years were slowly coming down, brick by brick. Lisa saw the changes in John. He was still the man she fell in love with, but there was a new depth to him, a sense of regret, and a desire to make amends. John, in turn, was amazed by Lisa's strength and compassion. She had always been his rock, and even now, she was giving him the support he desperately needed. One evening, as the sun set outside the hospital window, John looked at Lisa with earnest eyes. "Lisa, I know I messed up. I pushed you away because I couldn't face my own demons. But seeing you again, it's like I've been given a lifeline. I want to change. I need to change." Lisa reached out and took his hand, her touch warm and reassuring. "John, I believe in you. I always have. This road won't be easy, but you're not alone. We'll take it one step at a time together." In that moment, the past began to heal, and a new chapter started to unfold. Their unexpected reunion had given John hope and had rekindled a connection that neither of them had truly forgotten. As John's body healed, the real battle began. Confronting the demons of his addiction, physical recovery was only part of the journey. Psychological and emotional scars ran deep. The hospital became his sanctuary and his battleground, a place where he had to face his darkest fears and deepest regrets. Every morning started with a routine: medication, physical therapy, and counseling sessions. The counselors helped him peel back the layers of his addiction, uncovering the roots of his pain and the triggers that had led him down this path. It was exhausting and often excruciating work. John had to confront memories he had long buried, moments of weakness, and the shame that haunted him. Lisa was a constant presence. Though she maintained professional boundaries, she made it clear that she believed in his ability to overcome his addiction. Her faith in him was a powerful motivator. On days when the cravings were unbearable and the urge to give up was strong, Lisa's encouragement kept him going. Her support was like a beacon of light in his darkest hours. John also found solace in group therapy sessions. Sitting in a circle with others who had similar struggles, he realized he wasn't alone. Hearing their stories of relapse and recovery, hope and despair, helped him see that addiction wasn't a solitary battle. There were people who understood his pain and were fighting their own battles alongside him. But the journey was far from smooth. There were moments of intense struggle, times when John felt like he was drowning in his cravings. The temptation to numb his pain with alcohol lurked in the shadows, whispering false promises of relief. On more than one occasion, he found himself on the brink of relapse, the urge to drink almost overpowering. During one particularly difficult night, the weight of his past mistakes crushed him. He felt the familiar pull towards the bottle, the desire to escape his reality. In desperation, he called Lisa. She arrived within minutes, finding him trembling and on the verge of tears. "John, look at me," she said, her voice steady and firm. "You've come so far. You're stronger than this. Remember why you're fighting. Remember who you're fighting for." Her words cut through the haze of his desperation. He broke down, sobbing, as Lisa held him, letting the pain and frustration pour out. It was a turning point, a moment of vulnerability that marked the beginning of his true healing. As the days turned into weeks, John began to reclaim his life. Each small victory, a day without cravings, a successful therapy session, a moment of genuine laughter, was a step towards freedom. He learned to forgive himself, to accept his past without letting it define his future. And through it all, Lisa remained by his side, her unwavering support a testament to the power of love and redemption. John's journey was far from over, but he was no longer walking it alone. He was building a new foundation, one rooted in resilience and hope, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. John's journey to recovery was a path marked by determination and hope. Once he left the hospital, he stepped into a world that felt both familiar and foreign. Everything seemed different through the eyes of sobriety. The city noises were sharper, the air felt crisper, and every interaction carried a weight he hadn't felt in years. His first challenge was rebuilding his daily life. He enrolled in a rehab program, one that focused not just on staying sober, but on understanding the deeper issues that had led him to alcohol. The program was intense, involving group therapy, individual counseling, and daily reflections. Each day, John faced his fears and learned to navigate his emotions without the crutch of alcohol. Lisa played a crucial role in his recovery. While maintaining professional distance, she became his anchor outside the therapy sessions. They would meet in the evenings, taking long walks and talking about everything from mundane daily events to deep, existential thoughts. These conversations were therapeutic, helping John to process his experiences and rebuild his self-esteem. John also found solace in new routines. He started exercising regularly, finding that physical activity helped clear his mind and strengthen his resolve. Morning runs became a ritual, a time for him to reflect on his progress and set intentions for the day. He took up cooking, experimenting with healthy recipes that nourished his body and gave him a sense of accomplishment. Reconnecting with old friends was another step in his recovery. Some relationships had been strained or lost due to his addiction, but John made efforts to mend those bonds. He reached out, apologized, and sought forgiveness where it was needed. To his surprise, many friends welcomed him back, offering support and encouragement. John also embraced new friendships within his rehab community. These were people who understood his journey on a profound level, having walked similar paths themselves. Together, they formed a support network, holding each other accountable and celebrating each other's milestones. These relationships became lifelines, reinforcing the sense that he was not alone. His relationship with Lisa evolved as well. What started as a professional and supportive connection began to rekindle the romance they once had. They took things slowly, understanding that both needed time to heal and grow. But the spark was undeniable. Their shared history, combined with their present journey, created a bond that was stronger than ever. As months passed, John's confidence grew. He found a new job, one that he was passionate about, and that gave him a sense of purpose. The structure and responsibility of work helped him stay focused and motivated. He also started volunteering, giving back to the community that had supported him during his darkest times. John's recovery wasn't a straight path. There were setbacks and moments of doubt, but each challenge he faced made him stronger. He learned to navigate life's ups and downs without turning to alcohol, discovering resilience he didn't know he had. Through it all, Lisa remained a constant source of love and encouragement. Their relationship blossomed, grounded in mutual respect and a deep understanding of each other's struggles and strengths. They were building a future together, one rooted in honesty, support, and love. John's journey of recovery was a testament to the power of determination, support, and love. He had found a new beginning, one that promised hope and happiness. The man who once felt lost had found his way back, stronger and more alive than ever before. As John continued his journey of recovery, he began to truly understand the meaning of redemption. It wasn't just about staying sober. It was about rebuilding his life and mending the hearts he had hurt along the way. The process was slow, but every step forward was a testament to his strength and determination. One of the most significant steps in his redemption was reconnecting with his family. His parents, who had once despaired over his addiction, welcomed him back with open arms. They had always believed in his potential, and seeing him embrace his new life brought them immense joy. Family dinners became a regular occurrence, filled with laughter, stories, and the kind of warmth John had long forgotten. John also made amends with friends he had pushed away during his darkest times. He approached each conversation with humility and sincerity, acknowledging his past mistakes and expressing his gratitude for their understanding and patience. These interactions were often emotional, but they were necessary for his healing and for rebuilding the trust that had been broken. Lisa, of course, remained a central figure in his life. Their relationship had deepened in ways neither of them had expected. They shared a bond forged through pain and perseverance, one that grew stronger with each passing day. Lisa had seen John at his worst and had stood by him as he clawed his way back to a better life. Their love was now a source of strength and inspiration for both of them. Together, they made plans for the future. They talked about dreams they once had and new ones they were creating together. They traveled, explored new places, and created memories that would last a lifetime. Every adventure, big or small, was a celebration of their journey and the love that had brought them back together. John also found a new passion in helping others who were struggling with addiction. He started volunteering at local rehab centers, sharing his story and offering support to those who were still fighting their battles. His experience gave him a unique perspective, and his words carried weight and authenticity. He became a mentor, a guide for others seeking their own redemption. His professional life flourished as well. The job he had taken after his recovery became more than just work. It became a calling. He poured his energy into his projects, earning the respect and admiration of his colleagues. His dedication and passion were evident, and he quickly became a valued member of his team. Throughout this journey, John never lost sight of the importance of self-care. He continued his therapy, maintained his healthy routines, and nurtured his relationships. He understood that recovery was an ongoing process, one that required vigilance and commitment. But he was no longer alone in this fight. He had a network of support, a loving partner, and a renewed sense of purpose. John's story is one of redemption and love, a testament to the human spirit's resilience and capacity for change. He had faced his demons, overcome his addiction, and rebuilt his life from the ground up. Through it all, he discovered the true meaning of love, not just in his relationship with Lisa, but in his connection with family, friends, and himself. In the end, John's journey was about more than just overcoming addiction. It was about finding himself, embracing the love and support around him, and building a future filled with hope and possibility. He had been given a second chance, and he was determined to make the most of it. John's story is a powerful reminder that no matter how dark the path may seem, redemption and love are always within reach.